It was all good just less than 24 hours ago. I don't know how collaborators have this special ability to make themselves the villain like that. Like, it happens so fast when it comes to sneaker releases. And yes, I'm talking about Undefeated. So if you didn't catch my video yesterday, I know there were a lot of W's, but I also want to empathize because just because you see W's in the chat or in comment sections or posted on stories, or you see people on here on YouTube talking about they got a W, just as many W's as you've seen, there are like 5 to 10 times as many L's. I just think it maybe looks a little bit skewed, but it's not everybody that hit. I know that's the phrase going around, oh my god, everybody hit. I'm more than understanding that everybody did not hit, and I know that people are frustrated and upset about that. So I just want to make that known. Like, I do not want it to be said that, oh, everybody and their mom hit. It's a phrase, but absolutely, I know that everybody and their mom didn't hit, okay? There were tons of L's taken yesterday in relation to the EQL raffle, and this morning there was the additional drop, right? August 2nd, and yeah, as happy as people were about the W's, right? It felt like at least a somewhat fair process, right? It just seemed like at least you entered for the raffle. You felt like you had a real chance to be able to get it, right? And with the W's that you see people post, you know that real people were able to hit. It doesn't feel that way for the drop this morning on August 2nd. I think we can say that, right? I think that's fair to be able to say. Now, again, I didn't go for this shoe for myself at all. I helped someone out to secure a 12 and a half. I joked about, hey, there's a scientific method to this, right? In that video. So go check it out. But I just don't, it happens so often that collaborators, there's something they fail to execute well on when it comes to the actual release date that they're in charge of, right? When it's sneakers, we can certainly put it on Nike, but when it's for these collaborators or these designers, all too often, it's just like, did we not do, I don't know if they're able to do like a trial run. And I can empathize with someone on a release date because it is a lot that happens, especially if you do in-store and online. I've been a part of releases, right? For my friends' releases in terms of them being in-store in Milwaukee, right? Usually they're released also in person at Clicks. So I am sometimes the person that's ringing you up and checking you out on release day. Like, one of the coolest things is I actually, helped unbox, like, get out of the box the pair for Onyx when they came in during that release weekend. So that's not to say that I think, oh, it's just a cakewalk. No, but based on this release, the anticipation, the demand, like, you have to be on it. This is your Super Bowl in a sense. And production has to do their job better than anyone else. Production has to be Game 6 Clay. And that man is living his best life right now. I love it for him. You got to be Game 6 Clay. And somebody wasn't. Somebody just wasn't on it because from everything I've seen, people were able to get into the site. Clothes were loaded. We'll get to clothes. Clothes were loaded. And then, yeah, kicked out. You were let back in with like zero real chance of being able to get the shoe. That's the thing for a brand. If you're being dragged, I get it. Like, there's no defending you in you being dragged for that. The consumer experience matters just as much as the product. It does. You can tell a phenomenal story and then piss off your consumer base because the experience is just so shit for them, right? So they got to hold that L. Whatever people are saying about them, they quite honestly are just going to have to deal with that because this is the experience that you created for consumers. Now, going to the clothes, do you guys remember this clip that I said yesterday? Also, I think there was a missed opportunity by Undefeated and Jordan to drop a bomber jacket. You guys see, I'm wearing my very basic bomber jacket. Really, it's just like a no name. It's got the orange on the inside. It's green on the outside. It fits me great. I love the cut of it. But they probably also would have charged y'all like easily $400 for that jacket. And not that people wouldn't have paid it, but they would have charged y'all like $400 for that jacket. I was close. So the jacket wasn't quite $400. That's what I said it was probably going to be. No, close. $325 good dollars, okay? Which it sold out because I said people will pay the price for the bomber jacket. They will. They absolutely will. I personally only own one thing that's Undefeated, and it's the Ultra Boost. I think you guys have seen that on the channel. It's the Ultra Boost pair. Love them. They're great. Only thing that I own. So I knew the bomber jacket would do really, really well. Let's look at everything else they have. So you have a crew neck, long sleeve, and some short sleeves, and only the other short sleeve, and then the hat sold out. I'm not dogging the apparel at all because they went the more simple route. They certainly went military inspired, totally get it based on the actual like design and makeup and inspiration of the shoe. So that's what they went with. I think that is a little bit different than what we saw with Nigel and Bike Era, right? Something true to him, the actual BMX jersey, which I think the jersey was amazing. I really do. Now that was one of the higher priced items too. So the apparel running more than the shoe, and the shoe was already I think expensive, and we will get to prices in a different video, but I think expensive. So yeah, there's a jacket. Let me know. Comment below. Did you get the jacket? I personally think, just to throw it out there, there was another release more of like locally that happened in Los Angeles for the Gokana, of course, by Adidas. And from what I saw, just with the design, right, on the tee, and then for, I think they had like maybe a crew neck, but just the setup I saw for them, I'm actually leaning more towards that than I am this undefeated apparel. That's just my preference, right? Fashion is all subjective. So comment your thoughts below on the apparel. Did you go for it at all? And I know so many of you feel like a lot of consumers, if I don't get the shoe, I don't want the apparel. That's fair. That's fair. I respect that. You don't want the apparel if you don't get the shoe. That's not to say the apparel couldn't go with other things because it just has undefeated on there, but I 100% respect that. I just think brands have to do better. They do, okay? Do better, be better. Because to think the consumer experience doesn't matter, it does. People do have memories. Now, some don't. Some will only care about the shoe. They don't care what you put them through, and that's on you as a consumer. Because you can't complain about brands doing X, Y, or Z in your face if you're allowing brands to continue to do X, Y, and Z in your face over and over again once you've already dealt with something, right? So, yeah. Again, it was good like less than 24 hours ago. But I am really hoping that, again, it's a much better experience for the sneakers app. When it comes to the global, we're talking like global release, if that does happen for people, based on some of the prices, I can see people choosing to pass, because you got to think about like that conversion, as somebody pointed out here in one of my videos in the comment section. That's a real thing you have to consider. So, crazy. It really is. So thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. I really do hope you have an amazing weekend, as always. Oh, before, actually, you know what? I just wanted to say, hockey may have the best jerseys. Like design, like the fit. I love it. Okay, this is a Seattle Kraken jersey. If you didn't know, this was a steal on eBay for $35. Normally $180. Took the tags off of it. You can see a cool little fit that I threw together for it. Okay, all right. Now truly, act your age, not your shoe size. Peace.